Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft Amplified server. I am hyped for this episode today. Do you want to know why? Because I have found a golden carrot. It's now in my hand. Isn't that amazing? No, I'm joking. I have found... Did I say found? I think I actually did. But I have had a moment of inspiration today and made something with the friends from my XPD server. And it's just so good. This is really awesome. Now I am, like I said, a bit hyped about this. So maybe it's not the most fantastic creation ever, but I think this is absolutely awesome. So let's go around the corner and use the elevator that we built with Zul'jin in the last episode. I forgot to clear up all of my redstoning, so all of that over there, with the exception of that block, should be red sandstone slabs. Let's just fill that in quickly. I do like it to look nice and neat. But yes, you can see clearly I've been up to something, and there is a piston here, and it has something on top of it. That is actually some string. So you can just do that to get down, which is amazing. Let's hold down space because shift doesn't work. And then when you want to come up, all you got to do is get in the minecart. Now, as we know, when we go up to the ceiling, we're going to leave the minecart up there. But maybe not this time. Let's go up. Let's look upwards as well. We arrive at the top. We look around. We press shift to get out. And then down goes the minecart. That is absolutely amazing. When I had this idea today, I was so excited. I went onto the server with the guys, and Fennoman especially helping me out so much with the redstone. I say helping me out, he pretty much did all of it. I was sort of prodding around at things with him. But together we got to it. We got to this point where we made this thing work, and it's absolutely amazing. So this is like a bud-pisted... Bud-pisted? I just said that. a bud-powered piston that's set off by string. So this provides it with an update, and then it can retract and return again. So normally you would use this as a trapdoor, but I got thinking, well, what if we could get the minecart to land on top of it and get it to work with this elevator? So we're going to go down and have a quick look at the redstone. We are going to move on to some other things this episode. I've actually got something really big that I want to build in mind, which is good. So let's have a look down here. And wow, how am I going to start explaining this? Well, let's just say that this part of the contraption over here, see this little block and the stuff back there which I can't really get to. If we go over this way, you'll be able to see it. So there is, well, it's not the best view, is it? Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff on this side that gets the whole trapdoor thing to work with the string. And then what we added to it was a signal that comes up here. So this comes up from down below. It gets activated there when you're coming up through the elevator. And then it goes into this delay, and it also activates this piston. So when this gets activated, it's going to set off this right here, because this is bud powered, and that's going to set off the little thing at the top there. So then that's going to go off this way and go over to that edge. We'll explain that in a second, and the other bit of redstone is going to go around here in a delay, and we can actually extend this delay, which is important. So when it goes off to the other side, let's also try and get out of here. I'm not sure what is the best way to do that. It's going to sort of override the bud switch for a second, because when this thing opens, the minecart is going to come through, it's going to hit the string, and then it's going to land on the string again. So the signal that went over that side simply overrides the entire contraption for a moment, and then that means you've got a minecart sitting on the string, which isn't going to update this thing, and then the delay goes around, and then it activates it and sends the minecart back down. So what we can do is extend it and extend that delay, and it's absolutely awesome. Just gotta drop over here like that, hold down shift again. That never works. I've got to get in the habit of holding down space. Yes, and then when you want to come up, now that we know about the delay and stuff, you'll see it in action. So when we go through the string and we activate the string now, we've got that override, and then a moment later the delay sets it off. So it's a brilliant little contraption. I absolutely love it. I think it's ever so cool, and I'm just really excited about it at the moment. I've completely forgotten what the plans were for this episode. Now, while I was building it, I got creepered as well. Can you believe it? I think the creepers are actually spawning just up here on the edge, and then they find me, and they pathfind, they walk all the way around, and then they come down and blow me up. So in the middle of this, building it, halfway through it got blown up, and I was thinking, man, today is not my day. And then things got worse, of all things. So I fell down to the bottom. Let's actually go down there so I can show you. Held down shift again. Gonna keep doing that, it seems. And I was walking out the front here thinking, man, not today. Please don't let this be one of those days where we have loads of trouble with the redstone and creepers blow me up. And as I'm walking around here, just minding my own business, thinking about stuff, I fall down. What's happened here? I do not know. It looks like a fire, doesn't it? It really looks like the place has caught on fire. I think one of the things that would be evidence for that is the survival of the minecart lamp. Minecart lamp. Yep, today is one of those days with words, and I'm not bothered. It's fine by me. So I got a little bit of rebuilding to do over here, and I really don't know how this happened because, I mean, your first assumption is fire, right? But where would the fire have come from? Because there's no lava around here, and there's no other sort of sources of fire in any way. So that is a little bit of a mystery to me how that's happened, and I'm not going to let it get me down because we have had such an awesome time with the redstone today, and we're going to do some more awesome things in this episode. In fact, I think this is going to be an episode to remember because I just got so many cool ideas, and I'm totally in the mood as well. So guys, if you're enjoying the episode so far, please do leave a like. You know, I like to talk about that from time to time. Your support is always appreciated, and it's been great so far on the series. Just want to remind you guys to keep it up. It's good. It's all good. And yeah, I've got a little bit of tidying up here to do. So I will tidy this place up, we'll finalise everything, and I'll figure out what we're going to do next. Today is definitely a good day. I've been hanging around watching some Hermitcraft videos while working here on the server. Feels like a lot of people uploaded today, and I've been really enjoying it. Check it out, I've rebuilt this thing over here. It looks pretty much the same as it did before, so we're just going to fly on right past this. But just doing a little bit of building was really fun and enjoyable, and I have been playing a heck of a lot of Factorio lately, and I think that has actually kind of given me a little bit of break, you know, playing Minecraft a little less, and then it just becomes a bit more enjoyable when you get back into it. And oh, this thing over here, oh, it's really great. I do love this. Big props to Fennoman, by the way. He's an awesome guy. Me and him hang out from time to time, and he's been around for the longest of times as well. And whenever I need some help with redstone, he's always around. He's a great guy, so be sure to go and check him out. He does loads of redstone tutorials, and he helped me put this thing together, which is awesome. Let's go down once again, and let's hold down spacebar. Yes, that stops the fall damage. So I've been reading the comments on the previous episode of Hermitcraft, and at some point, someone somewhere just mentioned that you can hold down shift to stop fall damage. And let's ride this thing again while I have a little bit of a chat. We need to change the block there so you can see the button. That's something to do. And you can just sit in here and then go back down. That's possible as well. Yeah, so it got in my mind at some point that you could hold down shift to stop fall damage, and a lot of you are telling me that that's not a thing in the slightest, and I thought that it didn't work for a second there, but look at it, this thing is reliable, it's great. So yeah, the way to stop fall damage is to hold down spacebar, which is really cool, and you can also not hold down spacebar and you jump up really high. Which is kind of fun. But anyway, you may have noticed in here that things look a little bit different. That is because I've given this thing a proper entrance. I have indeed. Let's take a step back and look at this thing. And if we go over to the left here, you'll be able to see that the stairs on the side here... The stairs. It is definitely an awsum state. Oh, and I just punched out some grass. Stone is the word I was thinking of. I sort of filled in all of this area, you know, removed all the gold from the beacon back there, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty natural, I think, which is cool. Now, when it comes through the path right here, I think it was this block right here is in line with the slime block elevator, and it just didn't feel right. I had to curve this over to the side for it to feel good, and now we've got a little bit of a cave, and I decided I wasn't going to do too much on the inside other than the floor. I feel like the shape of the walls is nice, but the entrance looks real good and natural, which is awesome. And one thing I would actually like to do, and maybe you guys can help me out with this, so up the top here, in fact I just thought of a solution for what I was thinking of, and I don't have any jack-o'-lanterns, no problem, no problem. So we got a few torches around here, and that's not great, obviously, you want to reduce those, and I was thinking what kind of light source is great, what can we do up the top here? What we can actually do is put a light source down below, and I do have torches, so we can use that instead. And apparently I found a secret room. Okay, that's cool. I never knew that this was here, but I don't mind finding out about that. I guess the torches will stop mobs spawning in there, which might help a little bit. Anyway, let's just chuck down some of these, and now I'm stuck in the hole, so we've got to come back up here. Yeah, so a little torch and a light grey stained glass on top will probably look pretty good. So from a distance, you know, you're probably always going to be sort of looking up so you'd never notice it, and if you're ever in the trees for some reason, it's pretty subtle as well. I think that is the way to go with removing torches over there. So that's something that I'm going to do at another time. I just wanted to do a little bit of this right now while I had some time. And so in the ceiling for lighting we have the glass and jack-o'-lanterns above it. And this area right here needs doing, but we're going to save that for another day. I have a big project in mind. I say big, it might not actually be that big, but it's something that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to build. So I'm going to find a location for this project. We're going to go over to it. Have no idea what that will be, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. And I think we're going to do a time lapse as well. So I'm looking forward to this next bit. I do believe that I found the location for this project. This area right here, it looks lovely. It's slightly enclosed, it's very high up, and it's got the the right kind of space for this project, which is all good. But this is actually an area very close to something we found on the first day. So, on the first day of the server, we had a copy of this world on a completely different server. We were all in spectator mode, flying around, desperately trying to find the place that we could build a home together, which has become Hermit Hills. And next to it, there were some really spectacular areas, and I don't think anyone really showed them off yet, so I thought that's something that we could do, considering that this is very close to that area, and it seems like a lot of mobs have just decided to spawn over here. Let's take care of these guys while we talk about the project. So, I have been working on a big myth-busting project this week, and I've been using a world. Wow, there are a lot of these guys, they're coming from behind now. I've been using a world that was made by Unarybit that has some of the stuff from his tutorials in, and I saw something in there that wasn't anything to do with what I was actually there to do. And I thought, you know what, this is going to make a cool project on Hermitcraft if we decide to build this thing. So that's what we're going to be building. And when I've actually built it, I'm going to tell you more about what exactly it is, because I'd like to just do a time-lapse of me building it in this area right here. So around the back of this area, we just come over, whoa, hello, around to this area. You can see there is some pretty spectacular stuff. And actually, looking at it from like walking around on the ground, you can't quite see it really. You have to be up in the sky. So we're going to use our camera account to record this time lapse. Did I just hear something take damage? I don't think I did. So we're going to have a little fly around and chat about what is in this area, because it's pretty spectacular. So I'm going to grab my camera account and come on here to do all of that. And I don't think there's much else to mention really. I've gotten everything ready for this thing. We're going to have a little fly around, then jump into the time lapse. Over here, by the way, I've set up a nether portal, as you might have seen. And if you're wondering where this location is, you're going to see right now, because down here is the Hermit Hills. So we are way up above DMAC's little area down there. And there's just this lovely opening, and it's the kind of perfect place. This thing will be out of the way of other things. And I brought with me some materials. So we're going to be building this thing out of stone bricks. I played around with trying a few different materials for this thing, and what I found is that whatever colour you kind of built this thing out of, it just looked a bit bold and ugly. So we're going to do it with stone bricks. It's not going to be the most interesting of things, but if we do want to get aesthetical with it, what we'll probably do is build around it. And that all sounds so strange without seeing this thing, so I think it's time we jumped onto the camera account. The Hermit Hills is really a spectacular place from up here. Love seeing things from a different perspective. It really kind of changes everything. But when we first found this area, and we all kind of agreed it was perfect for what we wanted to do, there is a little bit over here behind DMAC's area that's absolutely spectacular. Now you can see how high up we are. This is the little area I showed you a moment ago. You can see my chests and the portal just straight in front of us. And around the back here, there is just... well, this is going to speak for itself, so let's fly through here. It's very dark, massive kind of ravine-like effect, and then it comes around into this back area where there is just this lovely overhanging gorge on either side, and it really is something. It kind of speaks for itself. This amplified terrain, you know, every now and then it just has some of these breathtaking areas, and you can see as we go further into this direction, there's more of it, and oh, this whole area just looks lovely, doesn't it? It's all sort of enclosed between these massive mountains, and I think it goes around the corner, or does it just end? Yeah, it just kind of ends right here. So if we fly, and let's speed up because we're in game mode 3, we can go really fast over the top here. You can see this is the area where we're going to be building. This is where we will record the time lapse. And if we just fly up right here, yeah, this is the stuff that I couldn't really show you. If you look at it from up here, you can see there's some big drops down. And the terrain in general is just spectacular around here. We are really, really lucky to be playing on Amplified, you know. It was a big decision to make, and I think we definitely made the right call. There were some fears before, but it's turned out to just be an absolutely amazing experience. So, what is that? Oh, what's that in the background? Can you hear that? That is some music. It is time to jump into the time-lapse. And there you have it. That took a fair bit of time to build. And I gotta say, it is not the prettiest of buildings. Now, when I had this in the test world, it was made out of quartz. It looked really, really great. And I played around with a few different colours, you know, some stained clay, stuff like that. And it didn't really look too right. But I didn't actually do the stone bricks. And I think it looks a little bit bland just because of all this grey we already have in the area. So it's definitely not the prettiest of builds, but we could spruce it up a little bit at a later date. For now, I would like to go... Oh, we're glitching like crazy. Help! There we go, we're out. Silly anvils. Yeah, this thing right here, some of you probably recognised what it was when I was building it, is an automated carrot and potato farm. And this is going to be a really fun and interesting project, actually. And it's powered by villagers. So let's break our way into the inside. I haven't put the villagers in. We've got to till all of this as well and plant the crops, which is something we're probably going to do in the next episode. Now, it really did take a long time to put all of this together. And that guy scared me. I thought it was some sort of black villager. But of course it's just an enderman. And we've got a skeleton up there as well. Maybe the glowstone isn't actually doing its job. I can imagine the enderman could have teleported in there, but the skeleton, I'm not so sure. That really did scare me a little bit there. It's like you thought you saw something you'd never seen in the game before. So I guess we'll probably have to put down another bit of glowstone somewhere here in the middle. This bit doesn't look too well lit. But let's talk about how this thing works first of all. So we're going to be tilling all of this soil, planting down carrots on one level, potatoes on the level above. That's going to give this place a little bit of life and colour because the brown is a lot more colourful. This is quite dry looking, and there'll be colour from the crops as well. So it will make it look a little bit better. But we're going to have a villager, a farmer villager, who can automatically farm. And apparently from any point in this farm he can see every other single tile of whatever it is you have growing. So it's a clever little farm. It means the guy can wander around and he'll always be able to see everything in the farm. So whenever something needs harvesting, he'll go do it, and then he'll walk over here. And this is designed to trick the villagers. There's another one that's going to stand on top of this carpet, I do believe, and then the guy down here is going to think he can see the villager up there and throw him the carrots or potatoes, and then they're just going to fall down over here, and then we can take those away and automatically deliver them into the community area, which is going to be a lot of fun. So I've got a lot of ideas for what we're going to be doing next. I'm thinking maybe another fun little time lapse of us tilling all of this soil, because that's going to take a while, and planting all of the crops as well. We've got to bring the villagers over here, and Tango has a villager breeder at the spawn chunk, so I'm hoping that's going to be pretty straightforward. You know, pick one or two out. I think we just need 2 farmer types, and then the other villagers in there can be whatever. And after that, I think there's like, yeah, the transportation of the items into the community area. I have got some really fun ideas for that on how to get the items down there. Something a little unorthodox maybe, but we're going to tackle those things in the next episode, because building this did take a fair bit of time, and I completely underestimated. I thought I was really well prepared. I completely underestimated how much glass we needed, so I had to go over to the desert and pick a load of that up, and we've got some left over now, which is cool. So I'm going to tidy this stuff up. We're going to take it back over to our little base, and I'm not sure what else we're actually going to do now, because this just took so much time that I don't have too much time for anything else at the moment. So I'm going to leave a few things over here like the carrots and potatoes and the bone meal, but we'll take most of this back with us. And before we do this, I feel like I should have mentioned it already. This is completely someone else's design, Unarybit. I'm going to put a link to the video where he shows this off in the video. I did kind of already mention that, but I wanted to explain what exactly it did later on. So I don't want to forget, you know, credit where it is due. If you're interested in this, go down to the description box after you watch the video, and there'll be a link there waiting for you. What is that sound? That is a glorious sound. I love that sound right there. Do you know what that is the sound of? That is the sound of... How many times did I just say sound? Oh, ridiculous. This is, once again, the sound of Iron Titans. That's what they're called. They're called Iron Titans. Now, these guys, Iron Golems from the Iron Titan farm. Oh, this is brilliant. I completely forgot. Well, I found out the other day that he completed it because I watched his video, but it completely passed my mind that I need to go over here and check out. Oh, look at this. How much iron there is. That is amazing. It really is. And by the way, I've got a cape on. This is to promote skulls, so a little bit of in-game advertising there from Mojang. Not sure about that, but the iron is good. This is like when you level up on the server. This just means something else that you don't have to worry about and that you can do so much more with so much free iron available. It's amazing. I'm going to take some with me. I'll sort out my inventory and that stuff later. And yes, I thought what we would do is we would come over here, we'd show off the hard work that Tango has been doing for everyone, because look at that, he's built something absolutely crazy up here in the sky, and it means that we all get to benefit from that, which is awesome. So if you're watching this, Tango, thank you ever so much for doing this. It really is appreciated, and this iron is definitely going to go to good use. And while we're over here, what we're mainly going to be doing is just scouting out and thinking about what's actually involved in getting these villagers over, because preparation is good when you're doing videos. So for the next one I want to be well prepared and know what we're getting ourselves into, because getting these villagers from this area back over to where we were building might be a little bit problematic. So first of all, I was over here the other day. Unfortunately, when Tango made this, there was some sort of problem with the iron golems, and they were falling off the edges, and they were gathering around in large quantities in this area. And we came over and had a look. We had to kill a lot of them with lava. But what had happened is the creepers had blown up all of this. As you can see, it's not looking too good, is it? And that's because they interact with the golems now. So the golems are targeting random creepers, or perhaps the other way around, and they come over into this area where most of the golems were, and they blow up, which is extremely unfortunate. And now all of this has kind of been tampered with a little bit. So from what I understand, this supposedly still works, and if it does, then we are very lucky. If it doesn't, we might have to put our plans on hold. So anyway, can we get in there? This is the design, again, that Unarybit made. I'll put a link to this one in the description box as well. In fact, just go and check that guy out, because he makes some awesome stuff. And as I said earlier, I'm using it for a myth-busting episode, so I should be a little bit familiar with what's going on here, as long as Tango hasn't changed it too much. That right there looks very familiar. That's where they breed. You give them food and stuff, and it'll they'll pick it up and start breeding, and then it'll separate the baby villagers and put them into this area at the front. And it looks like Tango's actually moved them somewhere already, so with all of this dirt in the way, it's a little bit difficult to figure it out. Perhaps from this side we can get a better view. They are going to go round there, and then they're going to grow up and get sucked up, and I think actually it doesn't look like they're going to go down. There's nothing below, so if it goes up, where exactly do they go? I think it's up through that thing. So if this thing is still breeding, which I don't think it does, look at this, it's blocked off. So I have no idea where they go at the moment, and they're not breeding, so I'm going to guess he's disabled this. So what we'd have to do is give them some food to make them breed. But it does look like we can get them out of here. So there would be quite a few that would come through, and when we get a farmer, I do believe that's the one, or the only one that interacts with it. It shouldn't be too difficult to take it out of here. It looks like we can break a few blocks and then bring them out of this area. So that's just one thing. The next thing is getting them through the nether. So let's turn around. Look at these guys, man. They have made a right mess. Oh, but it's been done. The Titan has been built, and it's amazing. Oh, such a cool farm. Yes, so let's go over through the nether portal, and I'll come back and get the iron in a moment. We'll figure all of that out. And where was the nether portal? I've completely sort of... Oh, hello, Mumbo. Hey! I had no idea he was here. He's getting himself some iron. Oh, look, it comes all the way down here as well. And there's blocks already crafted. Amazing stuff. Oh, look at this. This is ridiculous. We just saw a little bit of it. There's already stupid amounts of the stuff. That's cool. And there's some string in there. I'll take that, because I don't know why there's string in there. So, anyway, let's go through this portal. It should be fairly easy to get them here. And then the next bit might be a little bit problematic. We want to take them out of here and go in this direction, so that's not going to be a problem. But the thing is, the portal that we have for that new area is all the way up in the ceiling. The reason I did that is because it's kind of temporary, first of all, and second of all, the portal in the overworld is so high up, it wouldn't make sense to build it down here. That definitely cause some problems. Now, I don't think villagers climb ladders. We can't use water in the nether to transport them upwards. So, we could try it with lava and fire resistance potions. We're not going to do that, don't worry. That was just a thought that popped into my head. We're probably going to have to build some sort of temporary staircase with a minecart track that comes all the way up here, and that could actually take quite a bit of time. And then once we've got them up the top here in minecarts, it should be relatively easy. In fact, that's just the main challenge, really, just getting them up here. And then we can just, dig a little tunnel for this bit. So it's just somewhere here on the left, by the way, if ever you've kind of... Well, I don't think anyone's been able to keep track of where portals are from one another in the nether, but that's basically what you do. You go up, you go left, you go up those stairs, and the portals get here is fairly straightforward. So it's just really that bit in the nether. Once we're here, again, it's ever so simple, just moving them over and into that area. So I think we've figured out what we want to do. I'm going to head back now and go grab some of that iron. I'm going to load up on iron because, yeah, that's going to be awesome having loads of it available. Well, that is a pretty sight, and it's funny to think that we had plentiful amount of golds way before we did the iron. Look at that, that's crazy. And now we're going to have the same thing for iron as well. Oh, it's awesome. And now these are going to be decorational blocks pretty much. That reminds me of something that I completely forgot to mention when I did it. This gold ore right here, I had a lot of it. And over near the UHC area there was a little bit of like stone on the hill exposed, and I just decided to cover it in gold. In fact, I think we can almost see it, but obviously with it being so far away we wouldn't be able to see the gold. But it looked really cool. Maybe next time I'm around there I will remember to show you that. And this thing right here, absolutely awesome. I love it. I nudged the minecart. Whoa, there we go. Forgot to hold down space. I nudged it out a little bit earlier and had to reset it, but apart from occasionally doing that, it is absolutely amazing. That was my fault as well. It was just because I jumped out of this thing a little bit too quick. So when you jump out, just got to stand still and then you're free to move around. But it is awesome. And that is it for this episode of Hermitcraft. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. It's always appreciated. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.